Devotees. Dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all. And we are 1 minute and, oh, now 2 minutes late. Oh dear, technical hitch. Anyway, every challenge is for us to overcome. So we, by the Lord's grace, overcame it. Here we are, we're with you, and we're with Anu Krishna Devirasi too, burning the evening, the late night oil, as they say, burning the late night oil in Brazil. And here we are all over the world, Maheshwari in the United States, Priyananda Devirasi, yes, Dandavat, Dandavat, Priyananda Devirasi in St. Petersburg, Russia, Rupa Nuga Prabhu in his car, probably Thailand. Sevarupa Devirasi nearby South Africa, Radha Sundari in Mayapur most likely, and Chintamani Devi Dasi. We never know where she is, but probably India. And Dana in Florida, USA. And I hope that soon you'll get the association of the direct association of Abhinav and Kelly in a short time when they are on their way back to Italy. Yes. London and Italy from California. All right, yes, Hare Krishna Dandavas Dana. So to all of you, humble obeisances, and let us begin. So we do have possibly, that's interesting. Okay, I have something interesting. How is it? Okay, I'll have to work that question out in a short while. All right, so we are on Facebook, and to all the devotees on Facebook and seeing the recorded version, our humble obeisances to you also, and super to have everybody with us. We're here with back to basics, and we've been discussing a theme which is actually continuous, and we've just been discussing the theme too of chanting the holy name purely. And one thing is that we all know that we should be chanting the name purely, and hopefully we're all trying to do so. And when Srila Gurudev has given us some direction about the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, he composed himself a Bengali poem. A Bengali poem means Bengali verses, and I can hopefully just pick them up for you very quickly. But why I want to pick them up is because the very last verse is so sweet and so hopeful that it gives us a big pull to the upper world to say, come home, come here. This is why you're born. This is why you're living. Come home and taste nectar forever. None of this hanging around in this material world just to try to squeeze some juice, something sweet out of the material world. It's already been told to us that it is not possible. Only get a little fragment of chewing, the chewing the chewed or chewing the sugar cane. In India, we know about sugar cane. In other countries, South Africa probably too, that, you have sugar cane. You can chew it when you're young with good, strong teeth. But after it's been chewed, you try chewing it more, you might get a little taste, but the juice has gone. And then finally, what do you get? Is just like chewing on bamboo. It has got no substance. So chewing the chewed is a description of the material world. And the quality of any happiness that we get here is told to be a fraction, a tiny drop compared with what is waiting in the land of nectar, in the land of Krishna's pastimes. So Harinama Mahamantra Sava Mantra Sara, this kirtan composition by Srila Gurudev about the 10 offenses. And I'm going to read you not the 10 offenses which you all know off by heart, don't you? If I ask you, okay, what is number 4? Immediately you can say. Number 7 you can say. 7 you can say for sure. Anyway, hopefully all 10 you can immediately say. Srila Gurudev, after explaining those 10 offenses or listing them, he gives us this super hopeful verse. I'll give you the English first, and then I will give you the Bengali, because the Bengali does sound sweet to us because we do sing it fairly often. And why we sing it often? Because it's so hopeful and so attractive for us. So, but first of all, So after listing the 10 offenses, Srila Gurudev says, casting off these 10 offenses, leaving no exception, those pure souls who chant the name in holy congregation, the miracle of love for Krishna, they will surely savor. The name divine himself will shine within their hearts forever. Okay, and here we have in black and white in the chat box, by the grace of a very efficient Seva Rupa Devinasi. So please remember the translation, casting off these 10 offenses, leaving no exception. Those pure souls who chant the name in holy congregation, the miracle of love for Krishna, they will surely savor. The name divine himself will shine within their hearts forever. Hari Bol. We do feel like we want to chant and dance with this. It is so happy. And the verse, Edasha aparada korya varjana, Jaina jana kore harinama sankirtana, apurva Shri Krishna prema labhya tare hoy, nama prabhu tara hride nitya vilasoi. Forever, forever, forever. So our life is not one of cold renunciation, or we don't do this, don't do this. Some people really, and we've had this week, cannot understand how we can live our life as vegetarian, not wanting to taste this, taste that, so many things. They're thinking, oh, how is it possible to live our own life, talking about somebody we have the acquaintance of this week. Their own life is really based on eating, then get a taste, but their eating, it is eating the grossest things, the dead body. In America, they have this expression, roadkill. If you see an animal that's been run over in the road, maybe partly squished up, maybe not so squished up, then surely nobody's looking at that animal and salivating, thinking, oh, I'm going to eat that. And so often I'm sure we've all seen animals that are run over. We saw a bird yesterday itself. Oh, day before yesterday. We saw a bird that had been squashed. Oh dear. But so often you see, and the expression on the face and, blood coming from their mouth. Who would want to eat that? But this is what is being packaged so nicely, and this is what the world says is tasty for us. But anyhow, the point being that there are so many in the world who cannot understand, the joy of devotional life, the joy of clean living, simple living, and of high thinking. So it's not that we're being like dry to renounce eating meat, or dry to renounce so many things, but there's a higher taste, there's a higher something, and it is this pull which is drawing us upwards. And the help of the push from below is the scriptures describe what is the reaction for doing wrong things in the world, and so therefore is encouraging us to lead a clean life, a life which is going to be pious rather than impious. Still, from whatever stage we are, and so many of us are witness to this, eating meat and doing all wrong things, then from any stage, if we can imbibe some faith in the name and try to chant the Lord's holy name, knowing that it is the Lord himself, he's manifesting in the world in his holy name, then from any position, the holy name can take us to the topmost position. And so we are witness how the holy name can happily take us from bad habits and the bad world. And we know that the name is waiting for us to be sincere in our avoiding the 10 offenses, our rendering of service without any motivation, and our flavor, our hankering for that flavor of pure sadhu sangha and of sadhu sangha in general, seeing the association of devotees, being with devotees, seeing the good nature of the devotees. When we can be happy in the association of devotees, those devotees in particular who've got those qualities that we see are being listed in the scripture, who have no inclination to criticize others, who chant the holy name of the Lord constantly, that kind of association we want to hanker for. And actually, there's something very sweet that Keshavananda told us a couple, well, 3 or 4 days ago here. We're talking in our evening program here happily, and about Shripad Bhakti Swarup Tridandi Maharaj. Not so famous a devotee, but a sincere devotee, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev. Harinam from Srila Prabhupada, Gayatri from Srila Guru Maharaj, and sannyas from Srila Gurudev. And like a specific sannyas too. He earned his sannyas, if you like, in a very sweet way from Srila Gurudev. And we know him for many, many years, even, I mean, decades. And anyway, he does give some very like clear thinking examples and expressions in his talks. And Keshavananda, he remembered one where he said, there's one thing that Tridandi Maharaj, many years ago, he said that in a class, he said, if I can just in this lifetime get one quality that has been recommended to us and told we must get by Mahaprabhu and by all of our guardians, all of the Vaishnavas, if I can just get this one quality, never mind flying in the spiritual sky or entering the spiritual sky, but to get the one quality of having no inside or outside inclination to criticize others. He said, if I can get this one quality in this lifetime, I will feel greatly blessed. And we see his nature is like that. And so the devotees who really have this kind of nature, as Rupa Goswami has given in the Upadeshamritam, that topmost kind of devotee, the devotee who constantly chants the name with love and who has no inclination to criticize others, those kind of devotees will be very happy to associate with. So we're all aiming in that direction. We're trying to row our boat to the shore, not only row our boat to the shore to escape the current of the material world, but we have to row our boat to that channel of energy, that flowing energy into the channel which is taking us upwards instead of downwards. So anyhow, devotees, this is our little beginning for back to basics, because it is the basis of our life. And always we're being given hope by Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. And after all, Srila Gurudev gave us one of his directives. We should always encourage faith in others, in Mahaprabhu, in Gauranga, in the line of Srila Guru Maharaj. And Srila Guru Maharaj is giving us that the exemplary line of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and hence Bhaktivinoda Thakur all the way up to Rupa Goswami and Mahaprabhu himself. Hare Krishna. So Dasha Parada Koryava Jana Jaina Jana Kore Harinama Sankirtana Apurva Shri Krishna Prema Labhyatare Hoy Nama Prabhu Tara Hriday Nitya Vilashoy. And by the way, you can all sing this in your gatherings, your Nama Sankirtan, very easily. You think, oh, what's the tune going to be? I've not tried to sing it before. Just think of the tune of Hari Harai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, and then you can fit it in. Edasha Parada Korya Vajana Jaina Jana Kore Harinama Sankirtana Apurva Shri Krishna Prema Labhyatare Hoy Nama Prabhu Tara Ride Nitya Vilasham. So this is the beginning, the basis of our back to basics today. And I'm telling myself, and not just you, we're telling all of us, reminding ourselves. And as Srila Guru Maharaj says in the introduction of the Prema Dhamma, no, Shri Shri Prapana Jivanamritam, that when we see these foundation items in Krishna consciousness, then we should always discuss them. And in the Prema Dhamma Deva Stotram, of course, the theme is surrender and the absolute necessity of surrender. Because it is so necessary, we should always discuss it. But in a very similar way, because it's so necessary to chant the holy name and to chant the holy name without offense, then we should always discuss it. So this way we have an opportunity to discuss these very important things which are necessary as the very foundation of our devotional life. And by the way, the devotional practice is very happy. The destination is very happy. We just heard that, but actually the devotional practice is very happy. We just have to be a little self-controlled, means our control that we will do our good nourishment every day with our japa, with little worship, with little singing, quietly, if you're somewhere where you can't break out the mridanga and kartals and all those things, but make a daily routine nicely, not just when you visit the temple, then we get into the routine, but the temple really is the place where we can see what we should try to be doing everywhere in our home, whether we are on a cruise ship, on a spaceship, in a submarine, or even on land, living comfortably in our homes. We should try to have a nice daily program of nourishment. And then we will find that really these promises which are given in the Vedas, we get some, as Guru Maharaj points out, like lighthouses along the way that says, yes, we're going in the right direction. Hare Krishna. Okay, now I have begun. Now for all of you, oh, Vrindavaneshri, that he joined us, also burning the midnight oil late in night in Brazil. And Rajayadev, who joined us in the daytime, driving his truck, what they call a truck in the USA, not in the UK. They'll just call it a van. A truck is one of those big things you put tons of cargo inside the back of, with wheels and a steering wheel. Yes. All right, dear devotees, over to you. Contributions, questions. And Maheshwari, the first to raise a hand.
Dandavat, Maharaj. I'm so excited. I leave in the morning for Govinda Mela. So all week I've been preparing, and I already feel all of the energy of it. It feels so wonderful and blissful. So I'm very happy to be going.
Harinama Sankirtana, just see. Harinam Sankirtan, the very life of the devotees. And when we get that opportunity to chant the name in the company of the devotees, chant the glories of the name, hear the glories of the name, remember the glories of the name, honor prasadam, engage in service, engage in sharing, and confidentially sharing our heart and hearing the advices from others, then means Vaishnavas, and this sharing, revealing our heart in confidence and inquiring confidentially. This is with those who are senior to us.
I noticed you can push this thing pretty easily. Oh, good. Yeah.
All right, we're in congregational association. No problem at all. All is good. Yes, and by the way, daily, in fact, more than once a day, in fact, several times a day, a couple of days ago, then we are receiving news from devotees who are there. And I've been Navasunda, Kelly, Karambanana, and the devotees, they've been, I mean, I should say many devotees, but from them we've been getting some steady reports about the progress, what's taking place to get everything running nicely.
Say hi, John. I took a day off because I knew they were trying.
They've been very busy preparing. So the festival is every day in the mat when you can follow the program, render service, but of course it's building up. And Saraswati from London, she's there. Other devotees from London are already there or on their way there. And already there are Krishna Kantar and Munindra Mohan. From here, Krishna Kanta Devirasi, Munindra Mohan Prabhu. So you'll get the chance of their association. And really, they are good association. All the devotees are good association. But we can point out that the devotees who know that they belong to Gurudev, that's very good association, and who lead clean lives, who follow the process. It's a joy to be with the devotees who are already like established in this consciousness, routine, habit, good habit of chanting every day, good habit of arti every day. And we are witness to that, we see it, and Gurudev will be so happy. Many devotees are wanting to do. When we can find those who are doing, then if we can have their association, it is very sweet. Hare Krishna. And we shall be in Latvia at that time, already pre-booked, but we're participating. And you may find out some ways in which we have already participated in the Govinda Mela, because at least we can say, as a consultant, we are here, and the devotees have been consulting various things. So you might find out some of the ways that we made a contribution. Questions and answers. We're not going to give away any secrets. What are those questions or the answers? But we know some of the challenges which will come to you during the different activities of the festival.
Very good. Well, I understand that on Saturday night, there's quite something going on, so I probably won't be on this call.
Don't worry, be happily there. And we look forward to your news. Some of us have been in quite a lot of festivals by the grace of the Lord. I think this will be your first actual...
No, second.
Oh, second.
I was there last year also. And
okay.
Yeah.
Then Mayeshri Didi, please give us a report from now you can give us a report from your first festival. Tell us, share something with us from the first festival.
Oh, well, last year, of course, Vaidehi and I were in charge of the children, and that was very lovely. But I got to spend a few minutes talking to, oh dear, I have to see the name. It begins with a V. She's a woman. She's, a sannyas. I don't know what you call a woman who's wearing orange.
Oh, well, woman wearing orange will be Vishaka.
Yes.
Ah, okay, because we have two, Vishaka and Bhakti Lalita.
No, it wasn't Bhakti Lalita. It was Vishaka.
Okay.
And I got to sit with her and have a lovely conversation, just, a few minutes. But, she sat and asked me who I was, and just, it was just very sweet. And, it stood out. I remembered that. And I think we were listening to a lecture from some of the Brazil people. We were seeing all of the photos. There's like a farm, I believe?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a retreat, not exactly a farm, but sometimes they've had cows, so that will make it a farm, but yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we were sitting in the pandal and watching. So anyway, I really do look forward to being more involved this time. And, you know, Vaidehi has already told me she's got me pretty booked up with the children, but that's wonderful. You know, I love being with them. So.
And you will get so much blessing, so much goodwill from the devotees by looking after the children, because that frees up.
Yes.
By having 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is, ladies or persons look after the children, it frees up so many mothers
Yes.
and fathers, so they can be worry-free and be in the program and do their also other savor.
Yes.
Savor of cooking, the savor of cleaning, the savor of so many things, as well as the programs. And at the same time, looking after the children, it gives some Krishna conscious, like Sankirtan mood, if you like, but with the young generation.
Yes.
And I tend to think that children have an adult mentality. I mean, like something mature mentality, but we keep on finding out that children can be quite childish. So
Yes.
I wonder why. It's because they're young, I know. So it is good that the children together can happily have some engagement, and to get them into the mood of like chanting Hare Krishna in their own way, where they're not like surrounded and kind of over flooded by all these tall grown-ups who are being very loud. They can be very loud,
Oh,
but
yeah.
surrounded by each other.
Vi has been preparing the children. They've been learning the prayers. So
Aha.
they're going to participate in one of the programs with that. And, you know, I'm very excited because I'm going to do an art class with them. And what I'm going to do is read a story about Krishna. I haven't picked it out yet. I've been researching. But I'm going to read them a story and then have them just pick colors and start painting, you know, how that story made them feel. So we have a lot of fun things planned for the children. So, and, you know, all revolves around, you know, their getting more and more involved with Krishna consciousness. And, you know, the other thing that's so lovely about this gathering is that the children are all ages. So we've got them as young as 3 and as old as 15 or 16. And it's so lovely to see those older children really help the little ones. And they do. They're so kind to them. So I was very impressed by that last year.
Jai. And now you can have a little idea too about Srila Gurudev and his nature, because he saw us all, everyone, as children. I mean, really, he did.
And we are.
And we are. But then the older children can help the younger children. It is good nature, and that's good. Gurudev wants that. He wants that we'll help each other out and really try to maintain what has been given to us. Okay, and maybe a little dilution for the very young children. We know you got to give a candy. We've got 2 children here from Ukraine, and their motivation, it may not, as Chinmoy Defu says, who helps them a lot, he says they may not have pure motivation for going on the pilgrimage, for instance, walking up to Monte Vecchio on the top of the hill. Mm-hmm. It's not quite pure motivation. Motivation is gelato, but still they're making it. So we're a little like that. We also, you know, especially in the very beginning, we need a little gelato as the motivation. But then it's not expected that it's always going to be like that, that then we come to see, oh yes, but what is Krishna consciousness? Just like the very young 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, then they'll have a certain attitude. But the 16-year-old children, as you pointed out, those who are 15, 16, then they have a bit more of a balanced opinion of what we're doing, understand what we're doing more. So they won't just do something if they get a gelato and ice cream at the end. They do, no, we want to do that. We want to. Yes, Hare Krishna, Govinda, Govinda. And honor 9, it was very small on my screen. What name goes beside honor 9? I'm trying to see. You can type in the chat box, you can say, let us see. So, devotees, on the theme of the holy name and the festival. Dana's not able to make it this year, but she's there by heart, I know. And other part of her heart is with her dog at home. She's very caring for the dog. And we know that's a big tie. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur uses the dog as the faithful dog, not a street dog, the faithful dog as an example too. He uses this in his Sharanagati book as I want to have the nature of that faithful dog who always be waiting for his master's call. If my master will make even a little call, I'll come running happily. In jubilation, I'll come running. Yes, master, what can I do? This kind of nature. And the dog's happy to live on the remnants of the master also. Okay, Damodar Prabhu, thank you very much. Sorry, please excuse. Actually, you have the light behind you and you're very small on my screen, so much easier to see. Yes, Prabhu. Dandam. So anyway, the dog is also, we know, is an example we can learn from everywhere. Hare Krishna. Yes, so any contribution from anyone? Priyanana, I can see she's eager to, she's always got something eagerly behind, and we're very happy for that. And you are in Srila Gurudev's room, aren't you, in St. Peter?
I'm nearby Maharaj. There
Just
are
outside his room.
Yes, two portraits. Oh, it's
like,
portrait of Srila Gurudev and Guru
right,
Maharaj.
a hand-painted, hand-drawn portrait of Gurudev, and there's Srila Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. There's the door to Gurudev's room in St. Petersburg. I recognize the wall behind you. That wall continues into Gurudev's room. Yes. And the window is open. So St. Petersburg, yes, in the summer, it's warm.
Yeah, it happens, Summer happens. Yes, Maharaj, I have a little contribution because you gave me some homework yesterday. So I prepared. It's actually about the shloka from Manu Samhita, which contains the words like Hridayena Yanu Yodarmastam Nibodata. I mean, it's all about heart. And I just ran across it when I was working with Srila Goswami Maharaj's talk. But then also I saw it in Guru Maharaj's talk. And it's used like in different situations to highlight different examples. So Guru Maharaj, he says that actually, if our inner self, our heart approves some duty, approves something, then this thing can become our duty. Just after we embrace it, our inner person says yes, and our heart says yes, then something can become our duty. And as for Goswami Maharaj, where he used this example, he said yes, saintly persons, their heart is absolutely pure and so on. But then he said, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and other high devotees, actually they do not trust their own hearts. He said, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita just after the blessings of all the devotees, because they asked him. And Goswami Maharaj says, these high devotees, they do not trust in a way their own heart. Just if other devotees say that, oh, Prabhu, you got something really great here, then they say, there might be something great, should be something great, because I have faith in those Vaishnavas who tell me this. but they never like establish themselves or yeah, I'm like, I wrote this, it's mine. So, and another thing is just one shloka, but what different examples are given. And I remember also Goswami Maharaj said about Guru Maharaj, how he had this great capacity to extract even from some shlokas, maybe simple ones, but to extract the highest sense, the highest sense. And he said there are also this shloka in Bhagavad Gita, which says like those who worship their ancestors go them to ancestors and etc. And he said, and what did Shilashidhar Maharaj extract? What's his expression? Like birds of the feather flock together. So it came from that shloka. And that was very interesting. Like how much the commentary, the interpretation is important. Because you know, like we all have the same shlokas in front of us and same like Bhagavad Gita, like basically. But what's the commentary? What's the eye through which you want to see it? That's another thing. That's it.
Jai. And yes, and about Bhagavad Gita, really it is a hidden treasure. Our Gita, Guru Maharaj's Gita, the translation, then the title of the book is given, The Hidden Treasure of the Sweet Absolute. And this title in English, this is from Gurudev, this is from Srila Govinda Maharaj. And his expression and Guru Maharaj's expression of what is the content of Bhagavad Gita is, it's the layer after layer after, like mining. Srila Goswami Maharaj also uses this word mining, you know, mining the treasures in the mine. And it's like mining deeper and deeper and deeper. And we are hearing constantly the quotes from Gita. And yesterday, as we do, we listen regularly, I think you all know, to recordings of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. In our, you could say, private life, we listen. But we listen in the temple also as part of the morning program, sometimes the evening program. And maybe short, but it's an opportunity to explain and to help others to understand Guru Maharaj's intonation. And Guru Maharaj is talking about these high things. But then, again and again, he's introducing or illustrating them with slokas from Bhagavad Gita, which without that understanding, we take it, you are not your body, you know, simple things like this, but more than you're not your body, like who are you? And then continue. But we commented on that in the class, in the gathering. We commented on that. Look, Guru Maharaj is saying these things and quoting Bhagavad Gita. And then we're reminded of Srila Gurudev's emphasis on Gita, which you can see in black and white, but we're also there in person for so many times that Gurudev has expressed about the Gita. But in black and white, in revealed truth, you will find Gurudev like discussing the glories of the Gita so much. And by the way, it came in my mind while you were saying this about we need the grace of the Vaishnavas to become a Vaishnava. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he considered that it was by the grace of the Vaishnavas that he became a Vaishnava. Oh my goodness, how can it be? Okay, but Mahaprabhu, remember, has his Leela. Krishna has his Leela. And he has his Leela of young, growing up, etc. Krishna Leela, everyone relishes that Leela. But everyone also relishes Mahaprabhu's Gauranga Sundar's Leela. But his young and youthful Leela was very much centered on being a brilliant scholar. And any rules of Sanskrit that he heard once, he became the master of those rules immediately. He didn't have to go back to the teacher again and again. And anyway, he was a brilliant scholar, but all the devotees in Navadip, they were lamenting oh, this brilliant boy, he's so handsome, he's so charming, he's so attractive, he's so brilliant, he's so every good quality, except he's not a devotee. And then, bit by bit, Mahaprabhu got chastised by Srivas Thakur. He got chastised by who was the good singer, Mukunda, who was a good singer. He got chastised, maybe not exactly chastised, but Gadadhar Pandit lamenting that he's not a devotee. And only if he will be a devotee, then all of his brilliance, all of his learning, everything, then it'll have some purpose, otherwise not. Sridhar Swami, not Sridhar Swami, Kolavecha Sridhar, there are different Sridhars, including our Divine Master, Srila Bhakti Ropa Sridhar. No, Kolavecha Sridhar, who was a poor, pure Brahmana, also lamenting to Mahaprabhu that all good qualities, but he's not a devotee, and telling Mahaprabhu, you should be a devotee, and Mahaprabhu arguing with him, saying, why should I be a devotee? Look at you devotees, you're all so poor. And others there were worshipping Chandi, other devas, for getting prosperity. They're not struggling to have food in their stomach. They're not poor. They're doing very well. Why are you devotees? So Mahaprabhu, using his debating capacity to debate happily with the devotees. But when Mahaprabhu started to show his devotional side, he expressed that it is by the grace of you, Vaishnavas, that you have given the blessing that I will become a devotee, that I've become a devotee. And it's only by the grace of the devotees that we can become a devotee. So in Mahaprabhu's Leela, he's showing his gratefulness to Srivas Thakur, to Mukunda, to Gadadhar, to Sridhar, Kolavecha Sridhar, and to so many. And it's a wonderful pastime, you can see that. And how brilliant was Mahaprabhu in every respect. And the Digvijay Pandit, we all know the story that this Digvijay Pandit means he conquered all directions with his scholarship and everything. And at that time in India, this was given very high prestige and must have been a good income, because this Digvijay Pandit, he came to Navadip with elephants and horses, with so many people, a great following, a big hoo-ha of his arriving in Navadip. He was traveling around India with elephants. He didn't use the airplane or car or all those things, but or walking, but by elephant, and very proud and pompous. But again, by the grace of Mahaprabhu, then this time, by the grace of Mahaprabhu, then his ego, his pride was diminished. And then gradually coming to see that, the Supreme Lord, by the grace of the Lord, everything is possible. And so anyway, so many things. It's by association and by the grace of the Vaishnavas that we can have our ego dismantled. We read a little earlier today in another place. Sorry, I have been a little earlier today also, but read a little earlier today in another place about the only, I could find it for you, probably the quote, but the only obstacle is our ego. So may the Vaishnavas help us to have our ego crushed. And some of them do help us. And we are grateful. Hare Krishna. All right.
Can I do a question, Gurudev? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Who's speaking?
It's me, Leela Moy.
Oh, Leela Moy. Okay. I'm on the. Sorry, I should have recognized the voice straight away, but.
Right after this devotional changing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was Nimai Pandit, he went to this Gaya place, right? And what is this Gaya? It's like has something something like a backstory or something special?
And the
I don't know if you
backstory is
understand.
also a word used by Srila Goswami Maharaj. So we know,
Okay.
we're happy to know that you are hearing from this reliable source of Guru Maharaj's messages. And this is a safe place for us to go to hear. So, well, yes, Mahaprabhu, he at this time was doing so many traditional things. And the description of his traditional marriage, by the way, also is astounding. We see so many things. And it reminded me, by the way, of the only couple that, a Western couple, not Indian couple, the only Western couple that Srila Gurudev arranged their marriage. And like, okay, these two, they will marry. And Gurudev said, this is my experiment. And anyway, he arranged the marriage, but it's a marriage of Saraswati and her husband. Oh my goodness, Kali Yuga has come to eat up my brain.
Is it like Aditi Nandan?
Aditi Nandan, thank you very much. And I've been, okay, anyway, I was going to give an excuse. I have no excuse. I'm a resident of Kali Yuga, no excuse. So Aditi Nandan, but Aditi Nandan Prabhu, he's not very traditional, I have to say. But the marriage, I didn't go to the wedding, but it was arranged in Calcutta and through somebody else. It wasn't done in the temple. It's not this kind of a marriage. It was actually arranged by I think, Mr. Universe, an Indian man. I think he was Mr. Universe in 1942 or something. I don't know, a long time ago, because he was quite elderly at the time. And Aditi Nandan used to go and train with him. And when he was, that man was in his 90s or late 80s or something. Anyway, he arranged that traditional marriage. But Aditi Nandan, he described to me the wedding. And he was wearing like this particular hat that they wear and all these costumes that they wear, and so unlike Aditi Nandan. But for the sake of the tradition and for the sake of getting a wife, then he like happily went through what he would not normally do at all. So a little example that, in this world, then sometimes people, they play the part, they do what's expected of society. And so Mahaprabhu also, he was playing his part in society, and with everything he was doing, he was teaching, and he followed the tradition that when one's father will pass away, then the place in particular of Gaya is the traditional place to go and give some oblation, some offering, some food for the departed soul, etc. And although in Mahaprabhu's case, of course, everything, or you could say nothing needs to be done in that sense. I mean, everything is Leela. Who is Mahaprabhu's father? Etc., etc. Everything is Leela. But he is showing by example. And so he went to Gaya, where traditionally that's the place where you do offer pinda, the offer to the forefathers, some nourishment for their good future life. But of course, Jagannath Mishra also already has his nitya, eternal pastimes with the Lord. So Mahaprabhu went to Gaya, and it was coming back from Gaya. It was after he'd done his formalities, after these formalities, that he met with Ishvara Puri. And then meeting with Ishvara Puri means met with Ishvara Puri and received initiation from him. Ishvara Puri they were already acquainted. He'd already visited to Navadip, which was the hidden place at that time, the hidden Vrindavan. Still it is a hidden Vrindavan. But Navadip itself was, somewhat hidden of its spiritual quality at that time, but not to the pure devotees. And Ishvara Puri was joyful to meet Mahaprabhu earlier, before this time when Jagannath Mishra had passed away, and then their meeting in Gaya. And it was at that time he received initiation. But already he'd got that blessing from the Vaishnavas. Oh, if only you were a Vaishnava, then we would all come to you. Don't waste your time with learning. What's the point of all this learning? You know everything. You know everything. You're the most brilliant person here. You challenge the greatest persons and always come out victorious and keep the dignity of the persons, like the Digvijay Pandit. Keep his dignity even after he's been 100% defeated. So this way, Mahaprabhu, he attributed his Vaishnavism to the Vaishnavas. And of course, then receiving initiation, receiving the holy name from Ishvarapuri, then everything fully became open and clear. And from then on, Mahaprabhu could only explain grammar in the light of Krishna consciousness, etc., etc. All right, now Priyanana has a question, but actually I have to go early this week.
Oh, okay.
Means I need to go in 1 minute and 30-second time. But Priyanana, can you quickly give your contribution?
Oh, yes, Maharaj, I just wanted to add, I'm not sure, but I think about this Mahaprabhu becoming a devotee, as everything has many layers. I think maybe Goswami Maharaj said that when he went to Gaya, it's either the Gaya itself or on the way that he visited the hometown of Ishvarapuri, his future guru. So like it was equal to Hapani and so on, like how much we should revere the home city of our gurus. So it's the same, like Mahaprabhu visited the hometown of his guru and like took the dust there, and then he became a devotee, something like this.
Okay, before I say yes, I'd have to do just a little homework of, did he take initiation first and then go, or the other way around?
I think the other way around, maybe.
I'm not 100% sure, but if you've heard it this way from Goswami Maharaj, almost certainly, I mean, if you've heard it this way and remember
I need to do homework too.
then, I mean, it's good for us just to double check on that. But yes, and Mahaprabhu, when he went to Ishvarananda's birthplace, appearance place, he said, this is the best, the most fortunate place to go and take the dust at the place where one's Gurudev is born, where he appeared. This is my greatest fortune. So yes, much emphasis there, and we do remember this, but maybe not the right sequence. We'll have to do some homework, and we'll have to leave that for next time, because I need to go, because I'm being taken somewhere after 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and I've got to, it's going to take me 2 minutes and 30 seconds to put things in my bag to go. So, dear devotees, I need to also take permission from you all, both here on Zoom and on Facebook, Jagamohini, Mathura Basini, and Madhava Prabhu, and others who I'm not able to see. But take permission of you all to continue. And with my obeisances to all of you, and my big jais to all of our masters, to whom we are supremely and eternally indebted. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jai Shri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
And Mayashri did put a comment, I find Guru Maharaj's Gita to be so easy to read. Your good fortune. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj, Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam and Granthara Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Everyone, be in your heart in a festival every day. And when you get the opportunity, be there with your body and your heart in a festival. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, Govinda Govinda Govinda. Ami Ashchi.